Hello, everyone, and welcome to the E-Racing Quad Radio Show. I'm Rodney Tomlin, and this is QuadRadio.net and E-Racing, of course, a great amateur support team in the ATV motocross racing world. Basically, little guys, if you want to know about it. It's a really cool little operation they got going on over there. Plus, their key member over there would be Alan Myers in the ATV motocross racing world. He's a sophomore AMA Pro ATV racer. But today we're going to be talking a little bit of the GNCC racing. And, of course, it is the E-Racing Quad Radio Show, but we also want to say thanks to our good friends at Phoenix Racing, who also helps present today's broadcast. Quad Radio in general. I want to say thanks to Decker Training Facility, an all-new training facility. Some of you folks may have already heard about it, based mainly for ATVs, but they're getting some, they said it's open to bikes too, and it'll be open this coming fall for training, both for ATV MX and for woods training. We'll have more details on that coming up shortly, a little bit later on here in the show, and I want to welcome them along board on Quad Radio as a great sponsor. Also brought you in part, presented by, I guess I should say, DP Brakes, What's Stopping You? And, of course, want to say thanks to our good friends at Ladon Racing. Special thanks today to our good friends at XC Part Solutions, and also all of you great folks out there in Quad Radio land, as we say hello and welcome to this guy right here, none other than Bryson Neal. Bryson Neal is our guest. Good to have you along. We are, ready to head in around 7 at the John Penton GNCC, basically your home racetrack. I mean, I don't think you could get any closer than that for something like that. But you're probably even a little bit closer being over there in Bidwell, correct?
Yeah, for my house, it's about, I'd say the series, how many different states and how many different locations we hit and all the traveling. It's nice to have one that's close to home, you know, even though it's just one, and be able to have dinner at your own house, sleep in your own bed. It goes a long way.
It really of be a lot of people there, and I realize that Walker, he too is from Ohio, so everybody, you know, all the Ohio race fans like to claim him as well. So I imagine you guys are probably not the only ones, because there's more Ohio riders than that. But regardless of how that all works out, I mean, you guys are two of the top tier riders out there. You got Adam McGill that a lot of people like to claim as well on the ATV side of things. So I mean, the crowd coming into this weekend, it's got to be electric, man.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've been talking to a lot of family and friends, and got a good show. And you know, a lot of people want to come out and support me, and a lot of people's first races they're going to actually come to. They've they've been around my area and they know I race, but they never came and checked it out. I got a few people who's just going to come for the first time and finally see me race after me talking for 10 or so years of telling what I do. They're going to finally come out and show up and show me some support. Give them a good show and do really good for them.
That would be great, man. It means a lot, and to be able, I know what you mean. People just don't get it, you know. I joke around sometimes and say, you don't know who I am, you know, and I'm joking around, but you know, in our little world, man, I mean, you know, I carry a little bit of respect, you know what I mean? So, and I realize I'm a kind of a big fish in a little pond, so to speak, kind of like you are. And so, you know, you feel kind of belittled whenever they're like, well, no, what is it you do? Yeah, I bet you get a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah, it's funny the conversation you have every time with someone you meet new, like at the gym or out to eat at a restaurant or meet new people, and you're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I race foolers, and they every time it's the same reaction. I say, oh, really? Like they have no idea what it just sit down and just hit the throttle and you just cruise, and it ain't like that. And it's really awesome that everyone who has came and watched like from my area or kind of see me ride or something, they're like, wow, like that is way more than I ever expected it to be. And like it's kind of blown away by how professional everything is and how everything looks and feels. And yeah, it's comical really, you know, because people they really don't understand and really don't.
Right. I mean, and when they do come, I mean, they're kind of overwhelmed sometimes. You know, I don't know, I always kind of downplay it a little bit. You know, I'm like, it's really cool. It's really cool. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm expecting, yeah, that that was all right. You know, that wasn't too bad. But it's like whenever they could, like, oh man, that was like the coolest thing I've ever been a part of in my life. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it because I don't try to overhype it, overbuild it or anything. You know, I say to me, it's great. You know, it's never come out to it. But I said, you know, you got to come experience it for yourself. And until you experience it for yourself, you really just don't know and you can't explain it.
No, you really can't. And you can try to explain to them like, yeah, we race through hill climbs and creeks and there's jumps and 2 hour race, 10-mile track. And to them, until you get there, until you see everything, all the people, you know, it's kind of intoxicating. All the people, you know, all the race fuel and everyone just zooming around like busy bees back, and they love it. They have their people and their friends, you know, from their hometowns, and you know, get the word out, get more people to come out and get into it.
A lot of folks are coming out and that you're getting out and promoting it in whatever little way that you can. You know, you say you hit the gym and, you know, you're one of those non-typical GNCC top tier pros. I mean, currently right now, and we'll talk a little bit more about points coming up here in a few minutes, but I mean, you're currently tied second in points right now.
Hmm.
And talking to you, you'd say it's been a horrible season for you so far, but we'll talk a
Yeah,
little bit about that. It's not been, but you know, I mean, being a top tier rider like this, I mean, your whole program's so much different than so many other people at your level. I mean, you
yeah.
know, a lot of people at your level would be looking at factory support. You know, you'd be getting calls from, you know, this guy and that guy, but you know, you run your own program. I mean,
Yeah.
right down on the weekend. I mean, and not only that, but applying that part onto your machine and making sure it's ready to go.
Yep. I mean, from A to Z, all the way top to bottom, I pretty well, I do everything. I do all my own work, all my own maintenance and prep for the races, pack my trailer, you know, my goggles. I mean, literally every aspect of everything except my dad does my tire balls because, you know, he takes it to heart. He was in the tire business for, I mean, over 20 years. He got out of that. He's an excavate now, but it's kind of like
Oh,
one of his
that's right.
things
He's
that,
no longer with Poy Boys. Go see Neil for the deal, where the deals are
yeah,
great.
yeah. Yeah, he used Four Board Tires is what he owned, and see Neil for the deal was the thing. And man, he had a booming business. A lot of people loved
My dad did, man. My
him, and
dad loved him, man.
but he takes it to heart when it comes to tires.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
You there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
He actually got me into going down to see, you know, down there to board tires. But anyway, I always thought that was pretty neat. But so yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work there. I mean, because you see it in the pits. I
Yeah,
mean, your dad's there on the weekends, and your girlfriend's there, your
yeah.
sister's there, your mom's there. I mean, there's a lot of different people in and out of those pits that help you throughout the course of a race.
Oh yeah. My dad and my uncle Mike, they're always there to help me, support me, pit me, and the gas. And my Uncle Mike, he's about an hour north of me, and anytime it's kind of a joke between us, but he's like a professional fixer of something that gets messed up. Like, he is the man when it comes to tapping die sets and rethreading and messing up stripped out bolts. And sitting stride, and he gets me in and out in 30 minutes and helps me out. And not that I'm not capable, it's just that, man, he is the man at that stuff. And he's just so good. He knows, right, he's like a doctor. He knows what exactly to do. You know, my girlfriend, she helps me out, like cooking throughout the week and trying to get me to stay lean and eat healthy. And you know, I got a good support group. I got a good family around me, and it all, you know, it all flows together. It all helps. You got to have it.
Yeah, and that's obvious that you have all that too. I mean, that's because I mean, not many. I mean, there's been a lot of successful programs like yours that have made it, you know, and to stay on that level for a long time, it's really tough. And you've been that level for a while. I mean, you've had a little bit of help, but it seems like uh, things seem to go a little better for you whenever you forego that. Whenever you don't have that outside pressure, it seems to work out better for you.
Uh, you know, I think I just do better by myself. I don't know why. It's just me. Just easier, more simple. And I don't know. I love meeting people, and I love everyone who's helped me out before, and my relationships with everyone I've ever met and crossed. I can't say anything bad about anybody. Everyone, we still got great relationships today. You know, Coastal and Chris Landers and the Land Mills team, and everyone who's ever helped me out before. But I don't know. It's just um, every year that I went back to being on my own, I've done really good. And you know, this year we're doing good, but we'll get into that when you ask me the question. But it ain't like it ain't going exactly how I planned. So we're trying to flip it.
No doubt, no doubt about that. And another thing, I mean, help out in the woods either. I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys out there. I mean, I guess the fans might be your spotters, so to speak. But I mean, to say that you have somebody every half mile, every mile, somebody out there pointing lines to you specifically for you, and that you don't really have that, do you?
Yeah, I got good friends, Justin Fallon and Dustin Byers. They try to make it out whenever they can to the races and help me out. And I think they made it out at 3 races so far this year. Only one or two of them out in some spots, but yeah, that's kind of what snuck up on me at Florida, is that I was out there in the lead, and that's kind of no man's land. And it wasn't. I always say I'm the most in shape rider, and man, I just kind of just backed it down a little bit, and those guys behind me, they wicked it up, and they was going at a higher pace and catching me, and I had no one there helping me. It was just my dad in the pits, and I didn't know they was catching me until they was right on top of me. Until I turned around, I saw Walker, and I was like, oh my goodness, you know. But yeah, it plays into it. But some races, I've done it for so long that I kind of I don't rely on outside help. It's super nice whenever they're there to help me out and be there for me and support me. I love it, and it makes my day so much easier. But I've done it for so long that I kind of it's outside my head. I kind of don't rely on it, and it don't make or break me. And I just kind of I know what I'm going to do whenever I inspect the track and check things out, and I kind of I'm prepared for it because I've been doing it by myself for so long.
Do you think, though, with the right program, I'm not saying that none of these programs that you've had aren't good programs, because they obviously are. They're successful programs. But for the program that fits best for you with the right support, do you think that you could go a little bit further?
Oh yeah, for sure. Kind of how I run my program right now is that I'm in the shop. I'm working so much on all my bikes, trying to get them baptized and give them as much love and care as I can to finish all. I kind of take a step back. I still get to train, but I don't get to ride as often as what I like, because I got such panic, and and things going on in the shop. But that's probably the biggest thing that holds me back is you know, I usually don't ride the entire week after the GNCC because I'm working on all my stuff and I'm trying to get it ready for the weekend after to go to an IXCR, a Wexer, and then I might get to ride like 1 or 2 days after that. But I'm not getting the pound laps, you know, 3 or 4 days a week. And
So are you riding the same machine at the locals as you are at the nationals?
No, I have 3 bikes. I have 2 national bikes and a practice/local bike. And you know, it's just it's kind of, I run my program in a way of trying to save money as well, because everything's in my pocket and out of my dime. And if you keep on going out and thrashing a practice bike and thrashing it, then stuff keeps breaking, motors go down and this breaks, parts fail, and it's just like it becomes kind of like, okay, do I ride this week, ride 2 days, or do I just take this off, get my stuff right, and go have a really good race this weekend at the local race and really concentrate and try to put in a solid 2 hours. I kind of flirt with the line right there. Some weeks I'll really ride whenever I know I need to, you know, if I'm feeling that I'm losing my edge on the bike, or if I'm not feeling right or something feels off, I will, you know, go and ride 2 or 3 days and put in the time. But I kind of flirt with the line back and forth just to try to keep it in check, you know, so it don't become overwhelming with money and parts and all of that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that people don't realize, man. I mean, what it costs to run a program like that. And even you, I mean, probably there's, I'm not saying you don't make money, recognize, and you know, and sometimes it looks like maybe going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, you know, it all boils down to that we all love it. You know, we all love the sport and we enjoy the racing, and there ain't nothing like it. And there's many people that's gotten out of it. You know, Marshall Goings, Jay Shadron, a lot of people I grew up racing with, and they kind of got out of it. And now Marshall, I saw him in an IXCR a couple weeks ago. Jay, he's coming back racing. It's an addiction. People love it. It's in your blood. It's so hard to turn it off. You know what I mean? And that's what brings us all. It's kind of like a connection between everyone who does it. We all just love it at the end of the day. But, you know, that is the hard part of it, is that there is only, like you said, only a handful of us who can do it. You know, I'll never forget the day that Thad Duvall, he came and rode with me. And, you know, he finished number 2 that year and I finished number 2. And we talked about, we kind of laughed. He's like, man, that's kind of cool. We're an hour away from each other. We're riding, you know, and we're both like kind of like number 2. But I had my old beater practice bike and he pulled out his brand new bike that he got out of the crate for his new practice bike. And it's just like, I'm just like, darn, man, like, can you imagine if it was still like that for me? Like, but you know, it is what it is. And nonetheless, we love it. And if we didn't love it, we wasn't having fun, then we wouldn't do it. So.
Right on. Think about that, what you just said. I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't want you to answer it till later. But any regrets so far? Think about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this season. We'll talk about the championship points race, the competition, and a little bit more. It's all coming up next on the QuadRadio show.
XC Parts Solutions is now available trackside at all GNCCs. Open Friday, noon till 6, Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. XC Parts Solutions is a Moose Racing and Parts Unlimited dealer with a great inventory of Moose Racing products along with needed parts for bikes and quads. If you need raincoats, they got them. Umbrellas, they got them. Elephant ears for those mud races, they got them. Dry erase boards and markers, they have those too. Come by for a great deal on a great selection of Moose goggles and tear-offs used by a number of GNCC racers, located on Vendor Row next to the Moose Racing Transporter. XC Parts Solutions can take orders at the track and it can be shipped right to your house. Late need orders for in-stock products received before noon on Wednesdays can be picked up at the track. Email xcpartsolutions@gmail.com, on Instagram @xcparts, or give them a call at 931-854-1100 or 931-261-2004. And don't forget, all racers will receive rider support pricing from XC Parts Solutions.
Did you know you can save up to 25% and receive free shipping on great AMSOIL products with their preferred customer program? AMSOIL also has trucking companies, loggers, landscapers, and businesses like yours. Or if you have a business and would like to begin selling AMSOIL products, you could qualify to participate in the AMSOIL Retail Account program. You could be a dealer and build and grow your own profitable businesses. For more information, call John Coffey, your full-service AMSOIL dealer, at 877-694-4763 and leave him a message. John Coffey and AMSOIL, your first call for synthetics.
Hi, I'm Walker Fowler, and this is a DP brake rotor. And these are DP brake pads. Larry Mills and DP Brakes have been a part of my program for over a decade. Recently, we completed the Heartland Challenge, a 10-hour ATV endurance race that is not only physically demanding, but demanding on my machine and my parts. And that is why we choose DP brake pads. At the end of the race, we had 0 brake failures, and they looked brand new. If you aren't using DP brakes, what's stopping you? Literally.
And welcome back to the E-Racing Quad Radio Show. I'm Rodney Tomlin, and this is QuadRadio.net, and of course...